The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Open, the one and only show that rocks the world, and we come right from the Bronx, too. And, you know, I'm in your hood right here. I'm Dr. Bob Lee, DJ Cool Claus on the ones and twos. He's the Tonight Show band. I'm the guy that's on 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. And we bring it to you each and every night right after The Quiet Storm with Lenny Green. But we have a fantastic show lined up for you today. So leading up the show will be my man Bert Scott. Bert Scott is President and CEO of Affinity Health Plan, and he's here to tell us all about what he's doing to serve our community. And he just has all the information that we need. You're going to want to kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Everything about health care, all right? Then Sheikh Mosa Drameth, he's going to be the Executive Director of Adopt a Friend to discuss community peace patrol officers, as well as crime prevention tools dedicated to preserve humanity. After that, on this edition of Backstage with Bob Lee, we speak to hip-hop legend Big Daddy Kane. We'll find out what he's doing right now, what he's all about. And our musical guest, goes by the name of Robin Small. I met her uptown in Harlem, and she's going to be doing a fantastic performance for us as part of today's Music Mondays. And we'll close out the world premiere of Last Supper with Big Daddy Kane's new video, I Believe in Love Again. So stay tuned. All this and more is headed your way. We're open for business. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2013, and we got an exciting show lined up for you today. First guest is the President and CEO of Affinity Health Plan, and here to speak on the Affordable Health Care Act. Please welcome Bert Scott. Bert Scott, we welcome you to our show and welcome you to Affinity Health Plan.
I'm glad to be here.
Can you give us a little background? We hear a lot of wonderful things about you, you know, coming from Chicago.
Yeah, I am from Chicago. That's right.
And your favorite sports teams?
I'm a Bears fan, unfortunately. I know for those folks here in New York, I've got to kind of hold that back a little bit, but I'm still a Chicago sports fan.
Well, you have some people in New York that love Chicago ball players. But what about the Knicks and Yankees?
I'll go see them. I'll go see them. I'll spend time with them. I'm still at heart a Chicago sports fan. As a matter of fact, I'm going to the Nets game tomorrow night.
There you go.
So I'm trying to embrace the community and do things like that.
There you go. Right. Brooklyn, Bert Scott is coming to your neighborhood.
Coming to the house. Coming to their house.
So give us a little background about Bert Scott.
Sure. As you mentioned, Bob, I grew up in Chicago. I've been in the healthcare business for more years than I care to admit today, probably over 35 years.
Yeah.
I have spent a lot of time serving this community, communities like this around the country. Mm-hmm. I've been around people who need help and healthcare support, mm-hmm. And this was a natural place for me to end up in this part of my career, here in the Bronx.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful place to be. Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
As President and CEO of Affinity Health Plan. You guys do such wonderful things in our community. How did you come to Affinity Health Plan?
Well, you know, there's obviously, when you do these kind of things, it's a big search. But I have been familiar with Affinity. When I used to run a health plan in New Jersey many years ago, and knew the prior CEO at Affinity. Yeah. And when this opportunity presented itself, it seemed like a natural for me. Affinity's been serving this community for over 27 years.
Yes.
They're more than just a health plan. I think you know, Bob. They're your partner in health in the community.
Right.
We are embedded and part of the fiber and the DNA of this community. And it's a great opportunity for me to be here to lead now at this important time.
And it was said that a lot of people have been following some of the plans in our community, mm-hmm. Affinity Health Plan. You're not only a health plan, but you're in education.
Right.
You're in the community.
Right.
You're helping people with different things. But if you do need affordable, low-cost or no-cost health insurance, Affinity Health Plan would be the place.
We're your company if you need it. That's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah, Bob, we have 19 community service centers that are more than just places where people can come and find out about health care. We also help people with their needs in the community, whether it's housing or food. We try to make those centers part of the, as I said before, the fiber of the community, to make sure that people understand that we're not just there for their health, we're there to help them in their lives.
Yeah.
In this business, the social infrastructure is as important as access to health care, and we try to provide that infrastructure.
And people remember that big give back, when you give back to the community, whether it be the toy giveaways that you do.
Or the Easter egg hunt.
Easter egg hunt,
right,
where we had 10,000 people out at St. Albans Park in Queens, and then the turkey giveaways. You know, people remember that because it touches the very fiber of our community. People are hungry. Some people don't have Christmas. Christmas missed us. In
That's
that
right.
Biggie Smalls record. And Affinity is always right there to help every step of the way.
Yeah, and we've been doing that for
special.
27 years. We're not just new to this community. There are a lot of new players coming into the community because of the Affordable Health Care Act. We've been here. We've been a part of this community. We've been helping this community for a long time. And I'm just honored to be leading this organization at this critical time.
Beautiful. Let's talk about the Affordable Health Care Act. How does that affect health care, and how does it come down to affecting Affinity?
Well, well, first of all, we will participate as one of the plans offered in what we would call the health exchange. And to make it simple for people, the health exchange is like a shopping mall for health care. If you go to the malls here in town, you have a choice of stores. The healthcare exchange is very similar to that. People will have a choice of health plans that they've not had before. They will have access to affordable health care regardless of their income levels and their affordability. And we will participate.
So you can shop. You
Yes.
can pick and choose which plan you want, or what kind of health insurance you
That's
want.
correct. For the first time, people that are uninsured will have access to health care that they've never had. And they'll have an array of choices to make. We hope they're going to make the Affinity choice because we've been here for these many years. And we understand this community. But people will have a choice of multiple plans to select from.
So don't be afraid.
Don't be
Step
afraid.
up to the plate.
This is a great opportunity for people. Again, people who've never had health care coverage before, who have the first time, will have affordable health care available to them in this community.
Talk about you spoke about the exchange, but it's a brave new world, especially for plans like Affinity Health Plan. New Yorkers are wondering about this plan. How are they going to navigate this world? Especially a lot of seniors, they say, wow, this is new. How can I get into this? I don't know how to work the computer. I don't know how to work the smartphone.
Right. So first of all, we'll be there for them. I mentioned those 19 community service centers. We will be making sure those service centers are open so people can come in and get education. We've been giving education in this community about healthcare for years. We will extend that for the exchange. The state will also do a job of making sure there are people available to those first-time buyers.
So there'll be a campaign out there creating the awareness of what to do.
Absolutely. Starting in June and July, you'll start seeing a campaign from most of us and the state, and enrollment will start from October 1st to March 31st in 2014.
So Affinity will do its very own blitz.
Yes, absolutely.
Out in the community.
You will see a lot more of us over these next several months.
There you go. Okay, so what's next for Affinity Health Plan beyond the Affordable Act?
Well, in addition to that, we're beginning to work with seniors, and those are dual eligible for Medicaid and Medicare. We're working for those individuals that are on long-term disability and manage long-term care. So we are growing and thriving in this community. We will continue to grow and thrive over the next several years.
Talk to our listening, our viewing audience. I say listening because I'm used to radio a lot, but now on TV. But our viewing audience, tell them about Affinity Health Plan. What's special about Affinity Health Plan?
We are part of what makes us special. First of all, as I've said before, we've been here for 27 years. We have about 270,000 customers we've been serving for over that period of time. We are part of the community. We understand what the community's needs are. We know how to help people access those programs to help improve their lives. We are their partner in health in this community. We will continue to do that. What makes us special and sets us aside is we care about everyone in this community. We don't just care about some individuals in this community. We care about everyone. And we have a long history of demonstrating that to people in this community.
You spoke about integrated dual advantage?
Yes. Well, integrated dual advantage is where individuals who are eligible for Medicaid and Medicare for the first time will have a combined program that we will be able to offer to them in the community. So most times that's being offered by companies that people are not familiar with. We will be offering that locally for the first time in this community.
Wow. Seems like there's some big things
It's
on the horizon.
exciting time.
Yes.
And again, I'm very happy to be here. I'm excited to be in New York. I'm excited to now be a New Yorker, despite my Chicago roots. I love this community. I love what Affinity has done. And again, I'm just very pleased to be leading the organization at this critical time.
And you have some wonderful staff that are working with you.
Amazing
we see them out
staff.
in the community all over the place.
Yeah. One of the benefits of coming here was that the previous CEO did a great job of building a team. And I'm just
Maura
Bluestone, who spent 27 years. Affinity, as you might not know, was the first program like this in New York, not just in the Bronx, but in New York. Maura created that program, and I'm standing on her shoulders to take it to the next place.
Yeah. And like I said before, a lot of people were following that program and following not only what you stand for in healthcare, but what you stood for in the community,
right,
and what you continue to stand for in the community.
And we always will be part of this community. We will always stand for those same things. And despite the fact that we will expand and grow, we will not change who we are as an organization.
Yeah. So everybody qualifies now
Yes.
with the Affordable Health Care Act.
That's correct.
Yes.
Everyone qualifies. Some people will receive a subsidy. Some people will not have to pay anything, but everybody not qualifies. The President has done a very nice job here of expanding health care for everyone that needs it. It's now our job to execute on that, what he's done.
Yeah. Well, what do you say to the people that say, well, no, this is going to cost a whole lot of money, you know, there's not going to be enough doctors, you know, you hear all kinds of rumors.
Yeah, I'm not worried that there will be enough access. The Affordable Care Act will provide enough access for everybody. The affordability will depend upon income levels. The affordability, everyone should be able to afford to do this. Will it be free? No, because nothing is free.
Right.
However, it should be affordable for everyone who is interested and wanting to enroll in this program.
So even people who are not employed?
Certainly for those individuals that are not employed. Those individuals that are not employed and don't qualify for Medicaid will have very little out-of-pocket expense in these programs.
We have a lot of college students and interns around here, and they say, wow, you know, maybe I think when I hit 26, I'm not
covered by their parents anymore. That's right.
I got to look for a company to cover me.
Well, you should be talking and telling them to come see Affinity, because we're going to take great care of them at Affinity Healthcare. Yeah. So those of you around the room here, we're your plan. We're in your community. We know you. We want to serve you.
We have some of those students ready to step into that area right there.
That's right.
Where parents are not going to be able to cover them anymore.
That's
but
correct.
You know,
That's
it's
right.
good to know that you have a plan here. You have Affinity Health Plan where you can, you know.
That's right.
See Bert Scott personally. Give him a call.
Come see me personally. Works perfectly.
So that's great. So we're going to be doing some wonderful things, and this is going to kick in when?
The Affordable Care Act is effective January 1st, 2014. Enrollment begins in October, and it will extend to March 31st, 2014.
And we should start seeing a blitz from Affinity
You
Health.
should start seeing a blitz from us late summer, early fall, and again, in the community, doing the same things we've always done, just expanding it and making sure people know we're there.
Make sure you send some over to us. We would like to let people know.
We will do that.
And you'll see some of the stuff playing here. Of course, we'll talk to the executive director and make sure, you know, some of that stuff happens.
But we appreciate that.
Well,
your time is valuable, and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Did I miss anything?
No, I mean, again, I'm a Chicago kid who's transplanted to New York. Just know that my enthusiasm of being here is beyond what you can imagine. And that Affinity Health Plan is the plan of choice in this community, and we want to continue to do that.
Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Bert Scott, right here.
Thank you. Thanks,
President CEO of Affinity Health
Appreciate
Plan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with more Open. First, the Make the Grade Foundation's main mission is to encourage students to do their absolute best when it comes to academics. During the break, you'll see the debut of our series of public service announcements with our very own Make the Grade spokesperson, actress and singer, Troy Z. You'll be checking her out, and you'll be hearing a lot from her. Check it out.
I love being in classrooms like this one and learning new things. But I'm a Brooklyn girl, and I know school can be hard. It's demanding, and we kids have many distractions, lots of other things we could be doing. Sometimes even your friends may tell you that school isn't cool, that it isn't the place to be. Don't listen to them. There's nothing more important than education. It's the key to everything else. It helps us understand our world and be better people, better friends, and better citizens. So stay in school. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough or smart enough. Be a star. Shine brighter than anyone else, and you'll make the grade.
This has been a public service announcement of the Make the Grade Foundation. Go to makethegrade.org to learn more.
Hi, I'm Rena Valentin, your host of Open Friday. This month on Open, we will be highlighting women's history. Tune in every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on BronxNet.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS. And when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee and Cool Clyde. It's Open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. And we got this wonderful TV show right here. It's called Open. Our next guest is the executive director of the Adopt a Friend, and on April 2nd, well, they started a bunch of stuff. They hosted their program for Community Peace Patrol officers. Here to tell us more is Sheikh Mossa Drameh. We welcome you back to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee.
April 2nd.
Yes.
What went down? What happened?
April 2nd was the launching of what we believe a game changer. Community Peace Patrol Officers is a program that really conceived to at least stem crime and violence out of our communities.
Yeah.
And Dr. Lee, you know that in the Bronx, you know, the level of crime and violence affecting our people cannot and should not and must no longer be tolerated.
Yeah.
And we also don't want our elected officials to be on the same side as criminals by keep blaming the law enforcement and keep blaming everything but ourselves. We commit the crime. If crime to be stopped, we're the one to stop it. And this is why this program came about.
And you don't hear a lot about Community Peace Patrol officers. Tell us how it came about, how that started. It didn't just start April 2nd, right? You've been doing this for a little while.
Yeah, we've been doing it since 2004. If you look at the numbers, you know, 2.3 million individuals are now locked behind bars.
Yeah.
And majority of them are, you know, minorities. Now, if you look at the numbers, you know, anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000 to keep one person in jail. And in most prestigious, you know, universities cost you less than $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that the masses of these kids need parental guidance, need, you know, leaders like ourselves, you know, to be there for them, you know, to guide them, to help them, to assist them. These are not hardened criminals.
Yes.
These are kids that need our guidance. And now the criminal justice system will make them, will perfect their criminal enterprise. So if we come, you know, from the beginning and do the right thing, they will not get into
When
criminal
you say
justice
we,
system.
are you talking about parents? Parents need to step up to the plate and really guide their youngsters in the right direction so they won't get in trouble?
You know, nothing, no money, no funding, nothing replaces parents in the kids' lives. Nothing.
Yeah.
And nothing replaces personal responsibility. We keep blaming everything, the justice system, the NYPD, everything. But as long as we're failing on our personal responsibility, as long as we keep our children not being helped. We just met last week a 20-year-old boy from the age of 4 to 14, moved from a foster home to a foster home to foster home. And at the age of 14 was adopted, you know, by a stranger. Now, he has 3 cousins in the same predicament. And these are the kids who will rob people on their iPads and everything because they have nothing to lose. Nobody's there for them. Even the foster care homes and adoptive homes. A lot of these people, unfortunately, are there for the money. Because if you know anything about the social services in New York City, you know that the most difficult individual to deal with is black teens. Nobody can deal with them. Therefore, anybody who's willing to adopt them or become their foster parents, the system will give you a fortune. But they will never ever do the right thing by them. And this is an unfortunate situation. So we come and said, there are things our kids deserve before they go to jail, and we must do it. And that is why this program is important.
So a lot of people are in it just for the money. They're not really taking care of these kids. So nobody's taking care of kids. How do we get to the root of this? What do we do?
We have to
do we have to make the kids go cut their own switch, or reprimand them in another way? How do we do this? How do we get the parents and the foster care people and people in our community to care more about these youngsters so they won't act up?
We have to bring personal responsibility back to our lives. You see, we cannot produce kids and leave them by the system and let the system raise them. We cannot continue to blame the system. If you produce a child, then you have a moral and legal obligation to do the right by these kids. That's number one. Number two, our elected officials are not responsible enough because a lot of them did not come by way of qualification. They did not have successful professional career before they get into their position. The system keeps bringing criminals and unqualified people to lead us. Look at what happened recently. A criminal guy with a wire and legislating on our behalf. This is not acceptable. Now, how could a person who call himself an assemblyman has a wire and, acting laws that will affect your lives and my life, all because we do not participate in our electoral, system. If we do, they will not put a criminal person to be our elected official. They will not put somebody to learn how to do things while being elected. If you go to successful communities, they will not elect an ignorant person. Everybody who got elected had successful career before they got elected. But in our community, the system dictates who gets elected and who's not. And guess who gets elected? The yes ma'am, yes sir, unqualified, sometimes the criminal people.
So we got a lot of fault here. The parents are not doing, you say the parents are not doing their job. Elected officials are not doing their job. We're not doing our job because we're electing criminals, you say. And so how do we get to the root of this?
Well, we get to the root of it by allowing people like myself. I've been threatened, I've been beaten, I've been shot at, I've been profiled negatively because of my position. The fact of the matter is, you have 23% of New York City residents who are African Americans. 80% of the shootings are done by the African Americans. 98% of the criminals and the crime victims and perpetrators are African Americans and Latinos. And these are the same people who said it is the NYPD's fault. That is false. If we don't commit a crime, NYPD will not come into our community.
So if African Americans are doing all this stuff and NYPD is doing their thing, politicians are doing their thing, and parents are not doing the right thing, I'm just saying, how do we get to the root of this? Do we need a program to create the awareness that, we have? Well, everybody knows there's a big problem in our city, with crime and everything. But how do we get to the root of this? That's why I keep asking people. I was with a little girl the other day. Her mother, there was a shootout, and the mother grabbed her. She was a Miss Princess, something like that. I forgot her name. But I was with her at, we did something at City College Saturday. Basketball against crime, basketball against violence. That's what it was called. And this little girl got shot in the leg. She didn't notice that she was shot. She said, "Mommy, look, I'm bleeding." And she got, shot in the leg. And they took her to the hospital and all that stuff. And they got the guy who shot her. And the guy said, "No, it wasn't me that shot you." But, there is a lot of shooting and a lot of crime in our community. I'm just saying, what about more education? What about more after-school programs? What about all those things that help? What about jobs? All those things that help get people away from having to commit crimes.
Well, again, personal responsibility is the foundation for communities' well-being. Yeah. If you go to any community, when the school called for parent-teacher meeting, the parents showed up. When you go for self-empowerment programs, they show up. In our communities, we are misguided because right now, thousands of young kids are being languished in the system. But yet, when there's an opportunity to build your career or to get funding, then we, put buses, a lot of people just to demonstrate. But yet, guess what? We have thousands of young kids that are being murdered, our seniors. We're here in the Bronx. I always say the same thing. We are 5 miles away from Wall Street. Wall Street is where 75% of the commodities, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, retirement accounts, options, you name it, exchange hands. If you go outside of the United States, you said, "I am from New York City." They look at you as a privileged person. Yet Bronx has the hungriest district in the country, the most violent district in the country, the poorest district in the country. Bronx is ranked 62nd out of 62 New York State counties when it comes to health. And yet we have more colleges and universities. We have more parks. We have more waterways. We have all things. But yes, the politicians who already blame the law enforcement, and therefore the parents are confused. We have to bring personal responsibility back into our lives. And when you produce a child, you do the right thing by that child. There is no reason why 6 months old should be shot at. And everywhere we live, people are running away from it because everybody who's successful will run away from it because of violence and crime.
All right. So what has the Community Peace Patrol done to help eradicate a lot of this crime?
Our job now here is to completely eliminate the mass incarceration of these young, innocent, potentially good leaders that are languishing behind bars. So and how do we do it?
So we come up with something called Adopt a Friend?
Yes, Adopt a Friend was brought in to bring people of different races and religions together. But Community Peace Patrol officers are there in the community meeting these youngsters, and if you need to go back to school, we'll help you. If you need to come out of gang membership alive, we can help you. If you need home or job or whatever you need to be a successful taxi-paying individual, we will help you. Okay. Our job is to provide resources and referrals to these kids. Otherwise, they have nothing else to lose but to go to jail.
Wow. Okay. So where can people get more information on this?
They can directly call us, 718-822-5555, or they can go to our website, peacepatrol.org.
Peace Patrol parents, everybody that's having problems and situations can call you because you have people, you have professionals in place to help them with their problems or situations. Any
problem they have, we can channel them to appropriate source that can help them, whatever that problem is.
There you go. Sheikh Musa Drameh, Executive Director, Adopt a Friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to return. We'll have the latest edition of Backstage with Bob Lee. Stay tuned. All this and more headed your way next, right here on Channel 67's Open.
classic.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You know, on this edition of Backstage with Bob Lee, I had the pleasure of interviewing hip-hop legend Big Daddy Kane. Now, you know, we go way back. You know, Marley Marl got him started out there. He wrote a lot of songs for Biz Markie. Check this out. This is part one. Here we are once again, backstage with Bob Lee, and I've got the crew in the house. Big Daddy Kane, Showtime, Nikki Cake, Joey Mega's in the house. And they got a brand new joint out. They're going to be doing some wonderful things together. But first of all, before we get into it, I want to talk to my man, Big Daddy Kane. You know, give us a overview, or, you know, let's talk about how you got into this, because you didn't just happen into it. You saw some people doing it, and then you wanted to get. You're from Brooklyn.
Absolutely, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
And what happened from there?
Well, back in like the early '80s, I became friends with Biz Markie, and once we met, you know, we started rolling together, doing shows for like Mike and Dave out in Harlem, Bronx, Long Island, and eventually he established a deal with Cold Chillin' Records, Fly Times, The Magic, and all them, Marley Marl. And when he got on, he brought me in. And I came in, you know, writing for him and Roxanne Shante, and eventually landed myself a deal.
Because Fly Ty was kind of tough in the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah, you know, Ty was like, you know, he was, well, you know, you're not officially Juice Crew yet. You know, you're not Juice Crew just yet.
Yeah. So then you're not only a rapper, but you started writing first.
Yeah, I was, you know, I mean, I was, you know, originally, you know, a rapper, but when I first got with, you know, Juice Crew and Cold Chillin', I came in as a writer first, doing stuff for Biz and for Shante.
And you guys just started touring?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, it was like beautiful, like, you know, because at that point in time, I didn't have a song, so I was just really doing a cameo appearance in the middle of Biz set, you know, like telling some comedic rhymes on stage. And, you know, watching him do his thing, and Shan, Shante, Coogee rapping Polo, you know, it was nice.
And some of the things you wrote for Biz?
I wrote Vapors, Nobody Beats the Biz, Pickin' Boogers, a lot of stuff on that first album, Albee Square Mall, I can't remember all.
Yeah. And then, you know, things started happening.
Yeah.
What's one of your most memorable stories that's kind of funny, too?
I guess one of my most memorable stories back then with those dudes, because anybody that knows Biz know that, like, you know, like just having a conversation where everything he say is the truth is one of the most difficult things.
Yeah.
You know, Biz got, you know, he has a big imagination. And I remember, this is back in the beeper days before cell phones.
Right.
And I remember his beeper going off. We in a limo with a bunch of girls, and he looking at the beeper, talking about Luther Vandross. He want me to beatbox for him at the garden. Like telling these girls that Luther wanted him to beatbox for him at the garden. Like, I'm just sitting there like, wow.
They didn't catch the vapors yet, though. The girls?
No, they obviously caught the vapors, and they believe that. If they believe that Luther wanted Biz to beatbox for him, yeah. And they were sold. Yeah.
So, we'll get back into your beginnings and everything, but after 15 years, you came up with a new project.
Yeah.
Because in the meantime, you was touring around just making money and doing, you know, things like that.
Yeah, we've always been on the road with MC Light, Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, Chubb Rock, Houdini, many others, you know.
And so how did you meet these guys?
Well, actually, the two gentlemen on the far left, they're part of a group called the Lifter Crew, and they had actually played for me at B.B. King's, live music behind me. And that's how we connected.
Yeah.
And Showtime, he was someone that I met through my brother. My brother had him on a hook of one of his songs, and he played. I'm like, yo, who is that? I'm like, yo, call him. I need to talk to him now. And, it was like we came together because it's like, I felt like he had such a soulful voice, I love what he was doing with it. I just wanted to see him take it 20 years back, 20 years further back.
Yeah.
And, these cats, like as playing as a hip-hop band, but when I say hip-hop band, I don't mean like hip-hop of today. They're playing like the old school stuff that we used to sample in the 80s. Right. So basically, that is soul music. So I saw the marriage where it could really work real good, and we came together collectively, man, and it's been beautiful.
And that's what it takes. It takes a good chemistry to make things work. Showtime.
Yes.
You got the vocals.
Yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
Put him on the spot. Put him on the spot.
Okay. Let me see. I guess we'll sing a little bit of the single. Tell me that you love me. Come on, put your hands together. Like you never loved no one before. Touch me like you never touched nobody before. I wanna be the one that you look forward to. Spend my life loving you.
There you go. That's how you do that. It's showtime. Here we go. Let's get ready to. Oh, we can't say that, right? Somebody owns that. Right?
Yeah. I think that's like a $15,000 fee.
Yeah. So we'll cut that part right there. Right, just get the Ginsu knife out. So you get Showtime. You got Nikki.
Yes, sir.
Nikki Cake.
Yes,
Why do they call you Nikki Cake?
That name was dubbed to me by a friend of mine when we were playing in China at the Venetian Hotel about 4 or 5 years ago. That's actually where I met Joel. But yeah, that just kind of came.
And Joey?
Yes, sir.
Joey Mega.
Yes, sir. Up in the place to be.
What do you play?
I play trumpet. Yes, sir. Right. Been playing trumpet for about
Let me hear a little bit.
Years.
I'm only kidding.
Oh, I got
it. And then how'd you guys come up with the name Last Supper?
Well, I mean, it's like, in a time where, you look at music and really like the grassroots of soul starting to leave the picture, like where everything is really becoming more technical, electronic, and you're not really getting that real strong soulful feel of back in the days. So it's like what we did, merging vintage R&B, vintage soul, with vintage hip hop. Because the music and everything sounds like 60s, early 70s.
Sam
music.
Cookish or something?
Yeah, it's got the Motown feel, the Stax Records feel, and you're even flirting a little with the James Brown feel,
All right.
And, hip hop, I'm doing basically what I used to do in the 80s.
Right.
So merging the two together, it's just such a soulful sound where it's like we're saying, like, like at a time like this, if you're really looking for some real soul, you're looking for some real vintage hip hop, then dig in, eat up, because this just may be the last supper.
Yeah. In the mix.
Talk about it.
Talk
Preach.
about it.
Church.
Now, do you have a single or a whole CD?
Oh, the whole CD. It came out last Tuesday. It's available on iTunes and Amazon. It's called Back to the Future.
Anybody play it yet?
What you mean?
Anybody play it on radio or anything?
I don't know.
All right, hold it right there. Can we be the first ones to play this?
Absolutely.
Because we're going to take it back. See how things come full circle? I think I was the first to play one of your records with.
No, you played my very first record. I mean, I was just up at BLS with Fly Tie hanging one day, really, and I just had the 12-inch in my hand, and you asked me about it, and you gave it a little listen, and you was like, I like this. I'm going to play it on the air. You're like, you mind? I'm like, hell no. Yeah, I was like, I mean, you were the very first person to play my song on daytime radio.
Taking a Motown step back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. All right, so then let's come full circle and be the first to play this too. We got to play this Monday. All right, so when are y'all performing next? We want to come down and check it all out.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, this Tuesday night, Brooklyn Bowls.
April 9th.
61 White Avenue, Brooklyn. Doors are at 7.
Uh-huh.
They got great food, great fried chicken. They got a bowling alley. They got all that. They got all that.
You get fried chicken in the bowling alley.
They got it all. They got it all.
Of course, you guys are coming up with a song.
I'm serious, dog. You ever had a chicken over there? Dicky cake.
Excuse me. Bowling alley chicken, huh?
April 9th,
April 9th, doors are at 7.
Yeah. And you guys are coming up with a tour, right? This is probably just the
we're
first
looking at starting the tour in July. Yeah.
Big Daddy came with Last Supper. That was nice. And check out part 2 of our interview next week. And later in the show, well, we're going to premiere Last Supper's new video. Right now, it's time once again for Music Mondays. And right now, it's time for our gospel singer who has begun to study classical piano at the age of 6. Here to grace her with our beautiful talents and all of those beautiful things. Look, I'm going to bring this back like this. Boom, boom. Here to grace our very stage right here at Open is our beautiful young lady. Check out. Robin Small is in the house. Give her a big round of applause. Ho!
Love is unconditional through and through. So amazing your love makes me feel in my soul. I never knew a love quite like this. You fill my heart with joy unspeakable. Jesus, you are the one, the only one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All we need is your love. Every minute, every moment, every hour. More and more of your love. Lord, all we need every day of our lives is more love. All of your love. Yes, your love, Jesus. Oh, I love you. Yes, I do. Oh, you make me go round. My heart is safely in your hands. It just keeps on spinning. I'm surrounded by your love. It's never ever ending. Millions of people in the world, all they need is something real. It's your love, your love. That's what they need to feel. Every minute, every moment, every hour. All we need is your love. Makes me go. It's all about your love, yeah. Lord, your love, your love. Oh, Lord, your love makes me go, yeah. Round and round, yes. Oh, thank you, Jesus. love your love. Yeah, yeah. Yes, Lord, yes it is. Your love, oh, your love, yeah. It's all about your love. Oh, Lord, your love makes me go round and round. Yeah, it's all about your love. Lord, I love you for what you do. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for giving me love. You died way back on Calvary for me. Lord, your love, yes, yes. It's all about, yeah. It's all about your love. Give me all your love. I gotta have your love. Yes, Jesus, it's all about your love. Give me all your love. Gotta have your love.
Robin Small, ladies and gentlemen, give her a big round of applause. Robin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I remember meeting you uptown during the Harlem Summer Stage. You were sitting there on the side of the stage in the seated area watching the show from the side.
Absolutely, that's true.
And I was doing my Bob Lee antics, you know, kissing babies and hugging people and all that stuff. And I think I came over and gave you a big hug. She said, well, now you got to deal with my husband. You got to put me on stage or something. So, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And so we let you come up and do a little something on stage.
I remember that.
She blew that Harlem Summer Stage crew away.
Thank you.
And it's right next. Did you ever go to the Apollo Theater? Because it's up the block there.
I have when I was back in the day. I did do the Apollo. I did do amateur night.
Because that's the toughest audience in the world right there. They'll let you know right away if you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They sure do.
I keep telling that story. I was hosting an amateur night at the Apollo Theater one time, and this guy came in. You know how they sit downstairs and prepare?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
This guy came up, and he sang the first note. He said, ah! And the crowd booed him as soon as he got going. They didn't let him get started. He said, okay. He dropped the mic and said, boom. And he walked out the back door. Nobody ever saw him again.
Hey, they're serious. They don't play.
Yeah, so you can't quit. Once they boo you, got to keep on going and overcome all that stuff. It's like life.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So how did you get started?
Well, it started when I was about 5 years old. I started playing classical piano. I was being taught by my mom first. And then at age 6, she put me to a piano teacher, continued my studies, and then started off with voice lessons, and then continued all the way through high school, through college. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts.
You got a little business in you.
Yeah, and studied piano and voice there. And this has always been a dream of mine as a young person. And you know, like anything you do in life, if you want something and you feel that passion about it, you have to stick with it.
Absolutely.
You have to stick with it, no matter what the situation is. And you keep working hard. And so God has blessed me. He has blessed me and allowed me to be able to be here, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. And just also to be able to be heard on the masses. And you know, my music is playing on it's an EP that's being played all over Europe now.
Oh, good.
Yes, I'm grateful. And the song that you just heard went to #1 for 3 weeks on the charts.
There we go.
Yeah, so I'm thankful.
Is that your husband back there?
Yeah, he's the producer.
That's the guy. You put me up against him. You know what she did? You got to learn how to work this business though.
Yes.
So you said, all right, I'm going to take this cat. Since you gave me that hug, you know, this hug is only from my husband. But since you did that, you got to put me on stage.
Hey, it worked, didn't it? I'm here.
Did she tell you about this?
I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah. So how has New York shaped your music?
Well, I think more so than anything is just listening to different styles of music. All the music growing up, it's encompassed my sound.
Yeah.
You know, from the classical to the gospel to the jazz to the blues to the R&B. All of those things are who Robin Small is, who she has become as an artist and as her sound.
And now you get your spirituality wrapped up in your music.
Oh, that's first and foremost, yeah. Well, the message is inspirational. It's about God. It's about life, and it's about explaining who He is and giving a little taste of who God is, you know?
Yeah, a little taste of it. Everybody needs a little taste of
Yes,
God. You got to
you know.
drop to your knees every now and then pray.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
A couple of times a day, all
Yes,
throughout
you
the
do.
day if you want. You can do
Yes.
it while you're playing ball. You can do it while you're going to the bathroom. You can do it while you're eating.
Well, He's the reason for the season.
Reason for the season. And
It's
this is
always
the day that the
important.
Lord has made.
Hey, let us be glad and rejoice in it.
All right, there you go. Got the mix on it.
Yeah, hey.
So where can we reach you online? How can we get more of your good music?
Well, you can find me at www.groovecity7.com.
Say it again.
I'm going. You just took the words out of my mouth. www.groovecity7.com. You
Groove City 7.
Yes, Groove City. And there you'll find me.
That. And we got some stuff posted up for you. Look at that.
I see that. That's great.
Let's
That's
scroll
wonderful.
through it right now.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm
So,
loving it.
how much time do we have? Do we have time for another song? All right, so I'm going to wrap this up, and you can take us out with some songs.
Sounds
okay?
like a good idea.
All right, but before we go, what's next for you in your career? Where do you see yourself like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I'll be at the Grammys.
Oh, there we go.
I'm claiming it.
Or the Stellas.
Yeah, the Stellas, the Grammys, or both.
Yeah.
You know, well, wherever God puts me is where I'm at. So that's my desire, to be able to get to the masses and reach the souls of many.
You can hit the summer stages this summer?
I'm going to hit the summer stage, and I'm going to be a planted piece on the summer stage.
There you go. Give her a big hand. Everybody. Robin Small in the house.
Thank y'all,
all right?
thank y'all.
Now you come back anytime, all right?
All right,
Set it
I
up,
like
set it
that
up.
idea.
Thank you, Robin, and to all of our guests for joining us. Thank you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. And if you missed any part of the show, today's show, you can catch the re-cablecast at 10 p.m. or check it out at 5. And we're on tomorrow at 10 a.m., 5, and then 10 o'clock at night, too, and then all overnight, all right? So while I'm on the air on 107.5 WBLS, you can be watching at the same time. You know how we used to do. And if you want to catch it Wednesday, well, we got an all-new Open with Darren Jaime. But before we go, I'd like to give a special goodbye to our director, John Moran, who is leaving us today. He resigned from Open, from BronxNet, but he's going on to bigger and better things, and you know he does some great work. So he does producing, he does the camera work, he does that whole thing. He has his own company, and he's going to be going to greener pastures. And we congratulate you. All right. What you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. More from Robin. Check it out. And the premiere of Last Supper, the new video shot right here in the Bronx. Oh, I Believe in Love Again. That's coming up too. Catch you later. Love you all. Peace.
Tell me that you love me like you never loved no one before. Touch me like you never touched nobody before.
your mommy and bag it like evidence. The games most play are designed like Coach K to make clothes laid and vanish like so say. But that's my old way, no more expose. Now that me and you be chillin', everything's okay. More than a morning flower, you the whole bouquet. Rather rock and go, play you on the band,
I love being in classrooms like this one and learning new things. But I'm a Brooklyn girl, and I know school can be hard. It's demanding, and we kids have many distractions, lots of other things we could be doing. Sometimes even your friends may tell you that school isn't cool, that it isn't the place to be. Don't listen to them. There's nothing more important than education. It's the key to everything else. It helps us understand our world and be better people, better friends, and better citizens. So stay in school, and don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough or smart enough. Be a star, shine brighter than anyone else, and you'll make the grade.
This has been a public service announcement of the Make the Grade Foundation. Go to makethegrade.org to learn more.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS. And when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee and Cool Clyde. It's open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first